Here we go. We are at Glenn's. Car is going on now. Okay, Glenn just done. He modified the map file and he's loading it into the ECU. We done 2 dyno runs. It made, what did it make?
Well, previously it made 390 horsepower, 384 horsepower at the tyres with a calculated figure of 430, 428 at the flywheel. With no other changes, that's increased. Actually, no, that's the new run, sorry. The old run, 370 is, well, it's basically gained 20 horsepower at the wheels from no other changes apart from the turbo, and the torque figure has also risen at the wheels by about 10 newton meters, I'd say, a bit more than 10. But then if you look at the picture of the graph, you can see that this AFR level is the new turbo, so it's obviously burning a lot more fuel, and the horsepower and the breathing of the turbo is a lot better in this area here too. So when we load this next mod now, I expect this torque level to remain very similar but to carry on, which will make the horsepower increase further but not put any extra strain on the gearbox at the same time.
Yeah.
So
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, see how it goes. Hopefully it all goes well.
Yeah. Wow. That's completely smoke free. Whoa. Nah, I don't think the torque figure's right. It can't be right. I think the torque's, as it comes on so sharp, it's not reading right, but we'll look at the data and see what the data says. So, no smoke at all, and that's before lambda becomes active. Lambda's just come active now, so it'll regulate the lambda now, and the spool will be even better this time. Also 760.
That's about right.
So let's wait for EGT to come down a little bit, which is that one. Package for me. I think we're ready to go. little bit more. No smoke. Not one bit. 470 horsepower.
What?
Yeah. Wow. I'm just going to get rid of a couple of the other graphs on here so I can see it properly. I don't know where it's doing that. Get rid of that one. That's insane.
Wow. That it has made 40 horsepower more than it's ever made, and
Yeah,
wow.
at the top end is pretty good. So that would have been the previous run. So it's like a whole other, yeah, that's good.
Good.
And on this run, 760.
760 XGT.
That's perfect. Perfect.
Sorted. Have a look at the data logs and see what else can be done.
And it's throwing the calibration out, but 425 horsepower at the tyres is pretty strong.
This is like stage 3 35D territory almost.
Yeah. Only much more fun to drive. So this is the stage 2 then with the new turbo, and then versus what we've just done. And AFR, if we look at the AFR levels here, 17 to 1, like even at its peak, 17 to 1 AFR level. That's smoke free all the way to the end.
Perfect.
Nice.
Brilliant.
I like that. And you can see where the lambda regulation comes in. It literally regulates all the way along.
Perfect.
A little bit richer here for spool. Yeah.
Torque figure.
I'm not sure that's quite correct, but because it comes on boost so sharply, I think
yeah.
this bit here just peaks. But I mean, this is, yeah, also here, these two are basically the comparison between when the lambda's not active to when the lambda is active. It makes quite a bit of difference to spool and fuel control.
Okay.
But you can also see where it changes the fuel at the top end too.
Yeah.
So, and that horsepower figure is right at the end there. I mean, for you to get a flat curve that long is insane.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, the engine's not even breaking a sweat here. So
wow.
we'll have a look at the data and see what that says.
Yep.
We'll see what we can do for that then.
You weren't smoking very much at all.
I love that sound. I could listen to that all day, like children's laughter. So yeah, it's made no difference to power apart from right here, but I mean, how often are you there?
Yeah.
I think for the AFR level of 18 to 1, the difference is,
I know.
you know, is worth it, I think. So we'll look at the data quickly.
Is the torque figure correct this time or not?
I think it's more around where it's 993, so it's, yeah.
That's alright.
Actually, look at that. Go down to logs. So this is the one with the lambda active. It always spools better with the lambda active, and then you always get slightly less torque, which is, you know, and a slightly flatter curve. So if we take just this run, for example, That's nice. That is really nice. 424 at wheels. So I mean, 1 horsepower difference at the wheels. I'm not going to really argue over that.
Yeah.
Let's make sure this isn't kicking in. Yeah, perfect. So differential injection rate versus smoke limit this time should be less, but it's holding 100 milligrams for quite some time. It's all being controlled off torque. Side versus actual boost. This is my main concern, is boost. It goes over a little bit, but then comes back down. This is just telling you how much the turbo wants to boost, and there's a little bit of wheel spin there.
Yeah.
So if we look at the what's it done that for? If we look at the shape of the RPM graph, that is actually wheel spin.
Okay.
And then when it straightens out, it grips again. And boost seems to be really well under control. So what we'll do is we'll look at the actuator to see how much action we're getting, because before it was going all the way open, and we want some form of regulation. That's perfect. So it's actually starting to come back up towards the end, which is fine. It's not bottoming out. So we'll check the lambda. So this has an inbuilt LSU 4.9 lambda, which is a wideband, and they're installed from factory, and perfect. It's pretty much what we're seeing on the screen.
Yeah.
There and there. Perfect. And that little bit of leaning out towards the end will help with EGT. Peak EGT's not gone up at all, and I think it won't even touch 600 here now. See, I've taken that little bit off at the end there.
Yeah.
Usually I allow for up to 667 degrees there.
So yeah, it's well under.
Well under. So it's not even going to be a problem for the turbo or anything at that. Then we'll have a quick look at the flow control valve on the pump versus the rail regulator to make sure that it's not quite running out of fuel. So it is literally right on the edge of this pump. Very, very, very close. So, but if we refurbish this pump, it would be fine.
Yeah.
And then the rail pressure desired versus actual is perfect. Can't ask for better than that. A little spike at the end where it where you let off the throttle. So you log in pretty much what I've asked for, and then 800. So at 4,000 RPM, 776 newton meters. 42, 760. Yeah. So it's logging a lot better now. I'm quite happy with the shape of that graph as well.
Yeah, nice smooth.
Yeah. Smooth and smoke free. I like it.
There we go, she's all done. I'm gonna go on the test drive and see how it goes. I think it made, I need to double check, but it made 424 at the wheels, and at the crank I think it was about 466 I believe, and I think about 990 newton meters, so it's gonna go well I think. Let's see how it goes.